Imagine moving into a vacant home and owning it without ever paying the mortgage. That's exactly what one man did in Oakland. In tonight's special report, KTVU's Eric Rasmussen explains how an old law that may have helped turn a squatter into a legitimate homeowner.
Stephen DeCaprio found the ultimate fixer-upper in this 109-year-old two-story duplex in West Oakland.
When I first walked in here, it was basically full of debris, trash, and dead animals.
The sign on his fence now says no trespassing, but 13 years ago, some might say that's exactly what DeCaprio did.
The front gate was chained.
Once inside, DeCaprio spent years fixing the abandoned home, installing drywall, a kitchen, and a new floor.
What we're standing on here was kind of a big hole.
But he also started doing something else.
Yeah, we paid all the property taxes on the property.
Thousands of dollars in property taxes. Alameda County records show DeCaprio has continued paying them for the last 7 years. According to the assessor's office, the owner of record is the estate of Henry Curry, a man who died in the early 80s. But DeCaprio says the house was empty long before then and insists the law is now on his side. At any point, did anybody contact you and say, hey, you're on my property?
No. If you pay the property taxes and occupy space for 5 years, you have adverse possession.
Adverse possession, an old law with roots in California dating back to the gold rush, where someone can obtain title to a property without paying for it. Is this guy the owner of the property?
I'd say yes.
Palo Alto real estate attorney Julia Way says DeCaprio appears to have met key requirements of adverse possession under California law. He's paid the property taxes for more than 5 years. He's had a continuous physical presence on the land, and the previous owner has never contacted him about it.
Really understood the process. He went to the assessor's office. He's recorded a grant deed. He's added his spouse to the title. He's doing all the things short of a court action to demonstrate that he is the owner of the property.
But without that court action, DeCaprio won't be able to sell or borrow against this property, now valued around $300,000. And he's had trouble getting the county to recognize his ownership.
How unusual is this?
I called a number of my colleagues after you explained this fact pattern. None of us have litigated a case of a genuine squatter.
While he has running water, DeCaprio's house is still not hooked up to the grid.
This is a, 12 volt.
All of his electricity comes from solar panels on the roof. DeCaprio hasn't always been so successful. He was arrested while trying to occupy this property in Berkeley in 2004.
Once you have hostile neighbors and once you have a city government that's working against you proactively, it doesn't matter what the laws say.
Once homeless, DeCaprio is now preparing to take the bar exam and runs a group called Land Action, educating others on a variety of issues, including what he calls foreclosure defense. Since the housing market crashed, there are more abandoned properties that might seem ripe for the taking.
People don't realize that there's a lot of sweat equity that goes into it.
DeCaprio suggests squatter beware. In Oakland, Eric Rasmussen, KTVU Channel 2 News.